Yo, good morning, everybody. Today is a day off from our normal Monday videos that we do. I'm Scatterbrain Dad.
Mob Street 83.
Mob Street was busy yesterday. I gave him the day off to go hang out with his family and go explore some temple lights.
Yeah, last night.
So,
good times.
yeah, so anyways, our work schedule is pretty darn easy right now. I got a few properties we gotta clean up as far as leaves go, so we're gonna do that. Yeah, but in the meantime, we got another video for you. So today we're basically discussing being patient, I guess, to an extent, on a business idea. So if you've got this business idea, basically you want to plan it out. You want to take steps into making it successful. So,
or even goals.
Goals, yes. I mean, same thing with goals.
Business is what we're discussing right now.
Yeah, so Matt here was basically saying he had this idea, you know, that people want success overnight, basically. And that's just, it's really not the case. I mean, you look at a lot of these successful people, whether it be YouTube or a local business or a local businessman, woman, whoever, it's not always overnight success. So if you're just now learning of, you know, this YouTuber Scatterbrain Dad, you know, I didn't just become successful overnight. I'm still not successful. I'm just giving an example. By the time
That's not necessarily true, though.
By the time
it's continuously growing.
Yeah, it's growing. So I'm getting there. But by the time you know, let's say take the Stradman for example. I've been watching him since he, you know, started the second time around basically, and he's grown successfully. A lot of people though who are just finding him are probably like, oh my gosh, you know, and probably get jealous and are like, oh, he's so successful, like what a lucky kid. He ain't lucky. He worked his ass off to get to where he's at.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So with any business idea, you're going to have people who are like, oh, you can't do that. Right?
They'll be the naysayers.
Or, take Matt here. He had, tell me your idea that you had for your tractor idea.
So, I came in one day and where I live, I could definitely use a small compact tractor. And I was just sitting there thinking, man, if I had a tractor, I could do small landscaping. I mean, there's so many new homes being built down there by me right now that I could, you know, say, hey, for $200, you know, I'll come in and move the dirt for you, move the rocks, whatever, and just have like a small landscaping idea, or even field mowing with it. You know, I could buy it and get a mower for the back of it, or even, you know, a small tiller and till gardens went up. But I wanted it.
But part of your idea was to rent it.
Right. That was the other part too.
So that he doesn't have to go work his job and come home and work a lot more. I mean, basically the idea was he wanted to get it to use for himself and to do some of these extra activities, but also to have it as a rental so that someone could come pick it up and do their own tilling work.
Right.
And not pay, you know, just pay the rental fee versus paying a larger sum to have you come and do it yourself, right?
But at the same time, have it to where it was making its own payment.
Yeah. And these ideas basically stemmed because we go through and we talk about all these business ideas, right? So Matt here was super gung-ho. I mean, dude, you were like dreaming. He could, I think it affected his sleep a tiny bit.
It consumed pretty much all thoughts for those few days. So
the key there that I kind of had, you know, like I said, I'm no expert, but I've been through a few things, and I know that, you know, for one, you've got to look at the market, and I think the tilling would be a good idea where he's at. That's for sure. Any kind of garden implement, because they're on, you know, acre lots, and I think that'd be really beneficial along with the field mower. Another thing is you got to have the money, right, to basically go and invest in this equipment. So that was another thing that was kind of, at the time, basically putting some of his... It's basically Matt went through some major highs and some major lows, because he would get super gung-ho and be like, oh, it's going to work, it's going to work. And then it came time to think about the money portion. How am I going to get this?
Right.
And by going through that, you go through those highs and the lows, because you're gung-ho. Like, you got this great idea, and then it's like, wham, you get slapped in the face, and it's like, breathe just a little bit, because you got to think of all these things. Now, here's the thing is, he could do it, and you could try it, and we've discussed, you know, if things were to fail, sell it off and walk away from it. No big deal, right? It would be a lesson learned. Now, the more you think about it and the more you put your ideas together, I believe the better off you're going to have to run this successfully. And by doing so, would be beneficial financially, but also would get you a cool tractor to play on, man.
Exactly.
Right?
But I think the one thing, you know, after that whole thought process, that's what's really kind of triggered me into, okay, now, you know, it's a great idea, and you had told me, dude, give it a year.
Yeah.
Find out a way to do it, but
find a way to
give yourself a year.
The finances and to simplify.
And that was where the whole simplify thing
that's where that whole
kind of
idea
really
came
started.
From. Yeah.
And that's when I went, okay, what don't I need right now?
Exactly.
Or what can I, or what, and you know, that's what forced me to take a step back and look and go, okay, time to reevaluate everything.
For sure.
So, you know, with my camp trailer that was sitting there, and we're not saying there's anything wrong with them.
Nothing wrong with
but
camp
where
trailers.
I had only used it twice this year is like, okay.
Unless you have a Vortex.
There's something that I can do there, you know, and bring that money back in, and then put that money towards something else.
Yep.
And that's when I went, okay, well, this vehicle right here isn't really serving me all that well. It's costing me more than it's saving me, so get rid of that. So, you know, and that's where the whole simplify thing came in.
Yeah, yeah.
Because the plan for the tractor is still there. I'm not done with that.
So basically the idea was, though, is to get rid of, so say say you've got a budget, and by going and getting this tractor, it's going to put him over the budget, and he may not be able to pay some of his finances. Well, the problem is now that okay, not a problem, but more of a solution. The solution was to get rid of some payments.
Right.
Start putting those payments toward other payments, or even saving it, so that you can at least maybe have this chunk of money. So say you go out and buy a tractor. Try to get, in my opinion, with my mowers, I finance them. Last year I bought one straight cash. I bought a couple of trucks straight cash. Man, I don't know. I like to pay for things in cash, but if it's for the business, I think I'd rather have that monthly payment, because then that took, say, $9,000 for a mower. That took $9,000 out of my bank account, and I mean, granted, my interest rate on that mower wouldn't have been that much, so I wouldn't have been losing much to interest by financing that mower, but I could have made a little bit if I had invested that money somewhere else.
Right. Whether
it be in a CD for the amount of the loan. But anyways, back to the topic. So basically, he's going to finance. I would suggest financing this tractor. So maybe, say you got $3,000 saved up. Take that $3,000 and use that $3,000 for monthly payments, because he's gonna get this tractor, and it's not gonna be instantly. He's gonna have people knocking down his door looking to rent it out. It might take a little bit of time to gradually grow.
Right.
Like that. But, so, for the first 6 months or so, maybe he's got to make a name for it. Maybe it doesn't get rented out for a couple months. that's where that $3,000 comes in that he had saved to get him through some of these times. And dude, that $3,000 will take you a lot longer than a couple months as far as payments go. So, you know, that's the gist of it. Is he's basically setting himself up so that he can get this business idea going, which is kind of back to our point, and being patient. So he when we first talked about it, you know, he was just like, oh man, it consumed his thoughts. He was just like, oh, I can do it. I want it now. But financially, it wouldn't have been the smartest decision, I don't think, right then at the time. That's why you've got to plan for it. Give it a year. Next spring, when the market's hot, things are going, if he's got some money, do it. Try it. I'll be the first to say, try it. But be prepared to fail. If you're not prepared to fail, it could ruin a whole lot of other things in his life, financially. If you're prepared to fail, it's going to be no big deal to be like, all right, that didn't work. Sell the tractor, move on.
Well, I think the other thing too, you know, that plays a big part of my decision making. I mean, one, obviously talking it through with my wife, but that's the other part of the equation. Is if it was just me, then yeah, I feel like I could take a few more risks. But I have a wife and kids that rely on me just like you do.
Yeah.
You know, and that plays a huge factor in here. You cannot be selfish, you know. But at the same time...
That's a whole other video, though.
Okay.
That's a whole other video, because there comes a point in time where once you get things figured out, and if you've got that mindset to always find a way.
Right.
My wife now, basically, just says, whatever, do what you want. Because she knows that I've got the desire to make something work, and if it doesn't work, I walk away from it.
Right, but...
And it doesn't...
But you've done it to a way where it doesn't affect...
Yeah, so it won't affect...
It won't affect...
the overall...
everything.
Quality of our life.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's... I'm not to that point yet, but working up to that. And that's where this whole thing is, that's coming in, is just... It's great to have a big old goal and go, yeah, this is what I want to do, but you have to break it down into smaller portions. And
so let's go through here. So number one, be patient.
Well, first set your goal.
Yeah. So, well, not even necessarily a goal. So, like, yeah, okay, business or if you're gonna start a business or you're setting a goal.
Right.
Set that first. Number one. Number one. Sorry, wrong finger there.
2.
So number 2.
That's where patience comes in.
Patience. I've told Matt several times. You know, it's kind of funny because quick story time, real quick. He kind of changed jobs because of a whole patient issue thing where he was talking about, you know, they were like, just be patient. So it's kind of funny. Every time we talk about being patient, we just have to giggle because now I tell him, you got to be patient.
Well,
but there's a difference because
patience.
You're controlling that patience now.
Right.
Versus relying on
somebody else.
A boss or somebody to basically tell you you're going to make more money.
Right.
Instead of being out and saying, hey, what can we do today to make more money? Is there any other jobs we can do today to get an extra couple hours? Yeah, sure. Okay, whatever. Or, nah, I'm tired. Let's go home. Tomorrow. Let's do it tomorrow. So, number 1, set the goal. Number 2, patience. Number 3, I think, is be prepared.
Well,
be prepared / planning. Planning is a major role in being successful, I believe.
Right, I agree.
And I'm going to go with the number 4 here, and that number 4 is going to be my biggest thing is, seriously, folks, plan to fail. You got to have an exit strategy. And by exit strategy, I don't mean, you know, file bankruptcy.
No.
That's it. I don't really believe in the file bankruptcy thing. Like, I think that those who do basically set themselves up and were on the verge of failing for way too long, and they should have walked away a lot sooner. They couldn't see it, or they didn't want to believe it, basically. So I don't know. That's basically it, I believe, for today. I think if you do those things, I really think you can run a successful company. Anything, small company, whatever. And like I said, plan to fail. Because if something fails, my main thing is, kind of like with his tractor thing, the main idea was he wanted a tractor for himself. My thing was, how can we find a way that tractor can make you money? Because you'll get it a lot sooner. And then if you can have that tractor pay for itself, you get a tractor, you can work on your own yard.
Right.
And it's bringing you money.
Right.
What's an extra couple $100 a month to some people? Right? I mean, a couple $100 a month for some people goes a long ways.
Quite a ways.
And, you know, think about it. Yeah. So, I don't know. Anything else you feel that needs to be addressed?
No, I just think with number 3 on there, the planning. I mean, break it down into small, attainable things, and you know that's where I'm at. And I mean, plan on it taking a little bit.
Yeah.
Those whole get rich quick schemes, I think, are a bunch of bull.
Well, it kind of goes back to me and, you know, buying the house that I'm in and a lot of things. You know, people, I know people talk about it and people are like, you know, I don't know, like with my Jeep or certain things, they just think that I get this wild hair and, you know, want to go buy something. I mean, I do. That's where the Mini came from. And that's, you know,
kind of where...
I mean, yeah, there's a lot of things that I do just go buy. But there are a lot of things that I plan for, like my house, you know, 3 to 4 year project on preparing what we can do so that we can buy a higher priced home in a certain area. There was a lot of planning involved in that. It wasn't just, I mean, I didn't tell a lot of people, so it was more of a,
I didn't know.
a lot of people were like,
I had no
spur of the
clue.
moment thing, but it was
like, hey, we're gonna have a party at our house. Meet us in where we're at. I'm like,
we actually bought the house before we told a lot of people. A lot of people kind of knew we were looking, but we were just, you know, they were like, did you find anything? No, not yet. So, anyways, those can be for other videos, but yeah. I think the gist of it is, I think we covered a lot in today's video. It's a little long, but for those who stuck around, thumbs up. Give yourself a pat on the back. Share the video with some friends.
Comment.
Yeah, comment below. Tell us your thoughts.
Or even your own success stories.
Success stories.
Success story.
We don't want to hear those
No,
stories.
we don't want to.
Just
I've got
success.
no interest in those.
So, anyways, tell us about them.
Yeah.
I doubt many people are going to be watching this long, but hey, whatever.
If you did, thanks.
Yeah. Until then, peace out.
See
We'll
you
see you next
time.
time.